Hello and welcome to this session. Today, we will do a very important part of essential English grammar. This is probably the most important component of essential English grammar. We are going to talk about tenses. Well, you know how to use tenses, I'm sure. The live participants and the ones watching me on a YouTube video right now, following this course as a series of YouTube videos alike, all of them understand how the tenses are to be used. But there are major and big confusions relating to the words, relating to the expressions have, had, has, and the like. Now, when do we have to use have? When do we use has? When do we use had? When should had been be used? When should has been be used? When should have been be used? And of course, how do we use the continuous tenses? How do we use the simple tenses? Can the simple tenses be used to depict the future? We'll talk about all that. This topic is certainly the most challenging in essential English grammar. When I say it's challenging, I do not mean it is very difficult. You just have to use more of your intuition to understand what tenses are all about. Please keep this in your mind that you cannot be mastering the tenses by memorizing the rules. Do not memorize the rules. Only the usage has to be understood. Only that gut feeling will have to be developed. If you can develop the gut feeling, if you can develop the kind of intuition you need to use tenses perfectly, then you will have no difficulties dealing with tenses. Tenses, I tell you, friends, has confused many people. I have seen scholars who use tenses incorrectly. I have seen authors who use tenses incorrectly. I have even seen orators who make a mess with tenses. But you will not be making a mess with tenses because of what? Because you will be learning tenses as a part of essential grammar in a way that is full of infotainment, right? So you will not be one of those who will not be completely in command of the tenses. Many speakers do not use the simple, the past, and the future tenses correctly. We'll talk about all that when we start with the presentation. And yes, do not worry about speaking in incorrect English. I've said this umpteen times, and I repeat, speaking incorrect English with confidence is far better than speaking correct English without confidence. In fact, you do not speak any language correctly. Even while I'm talking to you, I made many mistakes. And I realized immediately after speaking that I made the mistakes, but I didn't make a hullabaloo out of that. Making mistakes is very natural. Everybody makes mistakes. The native speakers make so many mistakes in English, right? We, while speaking in our first languages, in our respective first languages, do not make so many mistakes. We do not speak that language correctly, right? Bring me an Assamese, bring me an Oriya, bring me a Bengali, bring me a Hindiite, bring me a Kannada person, bring me a Tamilian, bring me somebody from Goa, somebody who speaks Konkanese. Bring me anyone from anywhere. Bring me a French, bring me a Spanish. You can call a German friend of yours. You can call an Italian friend of yours. Let somebody claim that he or she speaks his or her first language correctly. And I will show you somebody who is deluded or who is misled by his or her own abilities, or one who is blatantly lying, because you cannot possibly speak a language perfectly, regardless of how proficient you are, because making mistakes is a part of the natural process of speaking. So do not try to speak your first language perfectly. You can never do that. Never think you can speak Kannada very well. You can speak Bengali very well. You can speak Punjabi very well. You can speak Assamese very well. You cannot speak Oriya very well. Why? Because you will be making mistakes when you are fluent in a language. You just do not care about the way you are speaking because your central purpose is to make known your ideas. You just want to convey what is happening in your mind to the listener. That is all you should be concerned about. Make mistakes in English, doesn't matter. Do not try to speak perfect English. Do not be conscious of what kind of English you are speaking. Yes, it is a good habit to be listening to yourself. I have spoken about how important it is to listen to the ones you are talking to and listen to yourself. Because when you listen to yourself, you are in charge of what you are saying. But that does not mean you should be conscious of the kind of English you are speaking. You will be making mistakes. That's understandable. That should not prevent you from speaking in English. You can make mistakes and still you can be a good speaker. You heard me. You could be making mistakes and still you could be a great speaker, right? Making mistakes is a natural process. So do not try to fight with these mistakes. These mistakes will happen. Probably when you write, the mistakes are lesser in number because you have more time to see and analyze as to what you are doing. But when you are speaking, you have to tell others what you are thinking about. And that process is very spontaneous and very fast. And that is why mistakes will happen. You cannot make your language, no matter for how many years you practice, error-free. It'll have errors. Everybody makes errors. The best of orators make errors, right? So the expert non-native speakers and the expert native speakers all make mistakes. So do not worry about making mistakes. Speak, 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 and speak, right? All right. So now let's say hello to our learned participants. Here we go. Vamsi, good evening.
Good evening, Biswajit. How are you?
Ah, glorious, victorious. I'm the happiest soul on earth. I am on the top of the world. And I have a bird's eye view of things because I have so much of wisdom, so much of knowledge, and so much of control over things that are happening. So that makes me the perfect person to say that I have never been better before. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. And I have never been better before.
Good to see that. Good to see your confidence. Good to see the cute way in which you say that, right? Thank you, Vamsi, for finding time out and joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, Arun, good evening. You joined us late, but I'm sure you will still be able to do well. How are you?
I'm good, sir. And how are you?
I told you a rule yesterday. This rule was set up by a very dear friend of ours. Okay, Sneha. I mean, she was the first to use it. I mean, I narrated a story, but she picked up the cue from there and she started using it. So you said I'm good, right? And you asked me how I am. So I can say I am the best. I am living the best moment of my life and I've never been better before. What should you say? Follow the rule and tell me what you're supposed to tell me. Arun, go ahead. How are you?
I am fantastic, sir.
You can still do better.
Yes. And how are you, sir?
I am fantastic, fabulous, fantabulous, magically at the top of the world, enjoying every moment of my life, and I'm the happiest soul on earth, and I've never been better before. I've said this. Use this expression, I've never been better before. What this does is this uplifts the mood of the person who says it. I explained it yesterday. And when your mood is uplifted, you do better, you perform better, no matter how morose you might be, because none of us live our best moments in one sense. In another sense, we should make the moments that we live the best moments of our life. Right? Please say, I have never been better before. Say that. Say, I'm great. I've never been better before. Say that.
I am sorry, sir. Please.
I am great. I have never been better before.
I am great. I have never been
Better before.
better before.
Now make this a mantra of your life. and you will go very far in life. I promise you that, right? This is going to uplift your mood and fill your being with so much of energy and power that you'll begin to feel that you can conquer the world with your powers. And let me tell you this, when you think that way, you actually act that way. When you think that you have the power, you will really have the power to do things, right? So always think positive. Thank you, Arun, for finding time out for us and joining us. You've
Thank you,
joined
sir.
us very late. You've joined us very late, but since we do the same thing from the beginning till end, you probably haven't missed anything essential. Yes, you've missed out on the grammar part, but you can always watch the videos on YouTube and pick up, right? So do that.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for joining us
Yes, sir.
again. All right, Lekha, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir. I am the best. I have never been better before, and I am the healthiest person of the world, and I'm happiest also. And I have the best soul I can have, and the kind. I will not say kind. I'm not kind.
Say.
I'm
I'm the kindest person on earth. Say that.
I'm the kindest person of the earth, and I'm improving myself to become the best of myself.
Yeah,
And how are you?
you are trying to become better than the best. I'll say how I am, but before that, talk about your being the prettiest girl on earth. Go on, say that. Say I'm the prettiest girl on earth. Say that. Say that.
I'm the pret- I'm the prettiest girl on the earth, and I have never been better before.
Good. Yeah, yes, I'll tell you my bit. I'm the handsomest man in the universe. I'm the handsomest man who ever walked the earth. I'm the most intelligent man who has ever walked the earth. I am the most knowledgeable, the wisest, and I'm the most powerful man in the world, and that makes me get into the right position. That makes me attain the right point, right vantage point to claim that I'm the happiest soul on earth. And that's what makes me say that I have never been better before. Right? Good, Lekha. You
Yes.
have this charm of, you know, energizing everybody with your positive energy. Good. Good to have you in the class. Thanks for finding time out, Lekha. You're welcome as always, and you're such a pleasure to work with. All right, moving on. Isha, good
Thank you,
evening.
sir.
Thank you, dear. Thanks to you. Isha, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Oh, great. The greatest, in fact. I told you yesterday and I repeat, great, greater, greatest. All three aspects of life belong to me. I am the happiest one on earth. With looks like that of Devanand, with a voice like that of Kishore Kumar, with wisdom like that of Vishwanathan Anand, with management skills like that of uh, the great Deepak Chopra, right? There are so many others. And with the scientific wisdom like that of Sir Richard Dawkins, with literary wisdom like that of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, what do you expect me to be? I am the greatest soul on earth. I am the most intelligent and the happiest soul on earth. And that's why I always say, I have never been better before. How are you?
I am fantastic, fabulous, splendid, glorious, and I am chasing your footprints. That's why I have all the qualities which you said. That's why
Okay.
I have never been better before.
That is so sweet. That is so sweet. Wonderful. Isha, spread your light to one and all, right? You are a knowledgeable girl, I know that. You are also a very kind-hearted girl, I know that, right? But this kind-heartedness and this knowledge must not remain confined to yourself. Spread your light to one and all. And probably nobody told you this, but I'm telling you this today. You are so full of spiritual fervor. You are extremely spiritual. You may not be, you might not have told me this, but I'm telling you because I can see you and I can feel that you have got very strong and beautiful and very positive spiritual vibes. So spread your light to one and all. Okay. You have a long way to go.
Sir.
You're a young girl. You have a long way to go. Spread your light to one and all. It's so wonderful to have you on board. Thank you. All right. Pallavi, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Oh, I am resplendent with the highest form of spiritual energy, with the looks and voice and intelligence and knowledge like that of the greatest soul on earth. I have all rights to look back at me with narcissistic like approach. And that's why I assert that I have never been better before. And how are you?
Sir, I'm also fantastic and I have never been better before. And I am the happiest soul of the earth now because I am in a group of most intelligent, beautiful, handsome people at that time. So that's why after seeing all of them, I'm also feeling like the most intelligent, beautiful, and wisest person. So that's all because of the environment I'm feeling like this. So yeah, that's why I have never been better before.
Thank you for all the beautiful compliments. You've spoken very well. But a still better way to say it is, well, you all are very good. I understand that. But in the company of somebody like myself, who is the wisest and the most intelligent and the prettiest girl, and who commands respect and power of all kinds by dint of my talents, I make you all happy. I make you all talented. I make you all wise. I make you all knowledgeable. And because of such infinite power at my command, I can say I have never been better before. So, Pallavi, try this next time. Okay. So, today you have given the credit to all of us. You are saying that you are the happiest soul on earth and you have never been better before because of all of us. The next time you say that we are all in a position to say that we have never been better before today because you have made us feel so. All right. Thank you, Pallavi. Thank you for joining
Thank you,
us.
sir.
It's such a
Thank you, sir.
such a great pleasure to have such a bright girl like you in our forum. I tell you, it's a true pleasure to be working with you, Pallavi. Thank you. Thank you for finding time for us. Okay. Moving on. Sanjay, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Well, how will somebody like Devanand and somebody like Kishore Kumar, somebody like Leonardo da Vinci, somebody like Albert Einstein, somebody like Vishwanathan Anand, somebody like Jiddu Krishnamurti, all packed together, right? Would feel such a person would feel that he or she has all the power on earth. That is the kind of power I have, and that makes me say that I am the happiest soul on earth, and that also in consequence makes me say another thing that I've never been better before. How are you, Sanjay?
Sam, fantastic, absolutely fine, fabulous, and happiest person on the earth. I have never been better before.
Wow, that's a change in you. Good to see that. Good to see that, Sanjay. That was a
Thank
confident
you, sir.
statement. Good. Be like this always. Be like this always. You are indeed great. I'm so
Thank you.
happy. So happy to see this transformation in you. Are you doing your
Thank you.
practice? Are you practicing regularly, Sanjay?
Uh, no, sir.
No, you have to, my dear. You have to. You are here to improve your English. You are here to improve your personality. You must not miss out on practice. Okay? The
Okay, sir.
rest of the things, although I say that today's class is very important because we are doing probably the most important component of essential English grammar, yet I tell you, you can skip all this, but you cannot skip practice. Right?
Okay,
Practice
okay,
is
sir.
very important. Right. Moving on. All right. Manisha, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Now that I've seen that pleasant smile of yours, I am even happier. Although, I can only be happier than the happiest because of the huge talents, infinite talents that I have in my personality. Talk about looks, talk about voice, talk about intelligence, talk about knowledge, talk about smartness, talk about other abilities like teaching and writing. Well, teaching abilities, there is just one person ahead of me, so I don't compete with her. Otherwise, I'm the best in all spheres, and that makes me say, I have never been better before. How are you, Manisha?
I'm amazing, and today I'm better than what I was yesterday. So I have never been better before, and today I had good conversation with one of my colleagues regarding spirituality. And after so long, I had this kind of conversation with someone. So I'm genuinely feeling very good right now. So I can say that I'm the happiest, and that's why I've never been better before. And looking forward to that everything uh, from everyone in this world.
Wow, that's great to know. Indeed. Uh, just the way I said to Isha that she should spread her light to one and all, I say the same to each one of you. To you, to Manisha, you are such an intelligent, bright, kind-hearted girl. Okay, moving on. Thank
So,
you. Yes,
sorry for
Manisha.
interruption. May
Yes,
I say
Manisha.
some?
Certainly, Manisha. Go ahead.
Sir, thanks for the compliments, and I accept them wholeheartedly. But I would like to add one thing.
Mhm.
It is said that beauty lies in the eyes of beholder. So you are complimenting me that much because you are observing that thing. So it is because that you are yourself beautiful. That I say like from inside, outside.
Thank you. Thank you
So
so much.
that is why. Thank you so much.
I can only say a hearty thanks to you with folded hands because, you know, uh, I told you that praises are always nice to hear. If they're genuine praises, they are very nice to hear. And I always pass on genuine compliments. Trust me, I'll not pass on compliments to those who are not worthy of it. Right? So you deserve every bit of every bit of the praises that you get from me or from your friends. Thank you, Manisha, for finding time. All right, moving on now. Shivam has just joined us. Shivam, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fantastical, great, victorious, the vanquisher of all ills, the one who can claim safely to be the happiest person on earth, one who has total command over wisdom and knowledge, one who can just with the snap of one's fingers turn and twist things in any way he likes. So that makes me the greatest soul on earth. And that's what makes me say with confidence that I've never been better before. How are you, Shivam?
Same as you, sir. Never been better before. Doing really good.
Thank you, Shivam, for finding time out and joining us. Do not miss classes because we are in the second and the last phase of the training program, right? Maybe another 30 odd classes to go, maybe 30 plus, depending upon how much we cover. But do
Yes,
not
sir.
miss classes and do not miss practice, right? Thank you for finding time again. Shivam, proceeding further. Nitesh, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are
How are
you?
you, sir?
Okay, how am I? Let me tell you how am I. Okay. The handsomest man on earth, the wisest person on earth, the most knowledgeable person on earth, the most powerful person on earth, the healthiest person on earth, the most compassionate and kindest person on earth. And that's what makes me say with confidence that I'm the happiest man on earth and I've never been better before. How are you?
Same as you, sir. I am
Say,
really, really, really happiest person in the earth right now. I am feeling really confident. I I feel like I will I will achieve something good. So that feeling makes me the happiest person in the world, and that's why I have never been better before.
well, Nitesh, good. Next time you have to say it with more, for the greater throw, okay, with greater force, right?
Okay, sir.
And
Okay, sir.
I want you to use all kind of similes. Call yourself the handsomest, the most powerful, the wisest, etc., 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 etc. Okay, that'll sound good.
Yes, sir.
But do not tell me that you have landed from Andromeda Galaxy, right? Never say that, even if that is the. I'm just pulling your leg. Don't worry. Okay, all right. Moving on. Sneha, good evening. I mean, not good evening, hello, because in your part of the world, it's still not evening. I know that. So,
Yes, it's evening, sir.
okay, good evening. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine, sir. And I have never been better before. Learning things day by day, learning my education trip things and my spiritual life, improving my spiritual life. Everything is going so good in my life. So that is why I can say that I have never been better before.
Great to know that. And I've also never been better before by when I watch you boys and girls do so well, right? You're articulating your ideas so well. It gives me a sense of satisfaction. Yes, I'm second to Seema when it comes to teaching, but I'm still a good teacher, probably because my hard work is now paying dividends, as I can see. All of you are looking so good, speaking so well, right? Good to see that. And Sneha, I do understand that you have a very rugged schedule these days. You have just shifted and you're working very hard. And despite all the hard work, despite all that you have to do, despite so many responsibilities on your shoulders, you have still found time to join us. I'm really grateful to you for that. And we also are very happy to have you on board. It's such a pleasure to be working with you. Thank you for coming again. Thank you for joining us again. Right? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Moving on. All right. Now, Seema. Seema, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Absolutely fine. And how does it feel to speak to the best teacher on earth? Ask me. Ask
No,
me.
sir, no. No, sir.
You are the number one teacher on earth, huh? You've
No,
already won
sir.
that title.
I am always trying to better myself. Can't be best. I hope
You are the
because
best. You are the best. You are the best. And make yourself visible. What happened? Are you still
actually,
uh-huh.
no, sir. Actually, I can't be open up my camera right now. Actually, due
No,
to some reasons.
no,
Yes.
no problem. No problem. Yes. So I repeat my question. How are you?
Sir, I am great. I am sincere, generous, and liberal person,
Hmm.
and really feel good to have a great company of this wonderful people group and have you in my life like a best teacher. So that's why I can easily say that I have never been better before.
Wow, that's music to my ears. Thank you so much, Seema. Such compliments coming from the best teacher in the universe. That is really so good to hear. Thank you so much. Thank you for finding time out. Now, a word of caution for all of you. This class is going to be a longish one. We started early, still we cannot finish early. Why? Because we are going to touch the hardest subject, possibly the hardest subject. We cannot call any subject hardest or simplest or easy or tough. Possibly the hardest component of essential English grammar or spoken English today. Spoken English, of course, will be dependent grossly on how much you practice the three primal methods that I've taught you. But if you talk about grammar and the acceptability of the language or the kind of English that you speak, then you have to master what I'm going to teach you today. If you can master what I'm going to teach you today, you will be 1,000 steps ahead of those who speak good English. You heard me. I didn't say 1,000 steps above ahead of the average speakers. I said 1,000 steps ahead of those who speak good English. Because those who speak good English also do not understand these basal rules. When I talk about the rules, when I tell you the rules, you might feel that these rules are very simple. Anybody knows them, yes, but still, they may know it, they may not know it, but they cannot use them properly. It is 8:27 IST, that is local time. We will go up to 10 o'clock today. We started early. I know we started very early, but we cannot finish before 10:10, 10:15. So be ready, have the stamina to run a marathon today, right? Okay, so now I welcome you to the world of tenses. Here we go. All right, tenses of verbs, understanding the time of action. what are we going to understand today? Tenses. What are tenses? Practically the time of action. When is some action happening? That is what we are interested in. And please keep in mind, this is going to be quite a marathon. Okay? Starting out, introduction. Am I audible with clarity? All of you? Somebody say yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Thank you so much. Introduction. As I always do, I'll read out the stuff before you and then I'll explain. Tenses are a fundamental aspect of English grammar. They help us convey when an action occurred, whether in the past, present, or future. Understanding tenses is crucial for clear communication. There are three primary tenses in English: present, past, and future. Each tense has different forms that we use depending on the situation. Appreciate this, that when we talk about the time of action, we are practically talking about everything, because time is what our lives are dependent on. You could be talking about the present moment. You could be talking about something that happened in the past. You could be talking about something that is likely to happen in the future. So we talk about one of these three aspects of life at all times. We talk about the present, or we talk about the past, or we talk about the future. So we are never out of the grip of time when it comes to language. That is why tenses becomes such an important topic in English grammar, because we are trying to understand time itself. When we say a sentence, when we use an expression, it is essential for us to understand whether we are talking about the present or the past or the future. But things are not as simple as this appear to be. Present could be something like Amrit reads books, right? Which means Amrit is in the habit of reading books. We could say Amrit used to read books, or Amrit read books, which would mean in the past Amrit used to read books. And we can say Amrit will read books, which means Amrit hasn't yet read books. Amrit will be reading books in the future. But these are just simple expressions to appreciate what present, past, and future are. But when we talk, things get much more complicated, because time is not just present, past, or future. There can be several other aspects of time. What are those aspects of time? In other words, what are those aspects of the tenses? We will study as a part of this lesson. Going forward, types of tenses of verbs. Present tense can be broadly, I say broadly, don't think that these are the only ways in which you can divide present tense, but present tense, that is present time, can be broadly divided into three categories: simple present tense, present continuous tense, present participle tense. Likewise, past tense, that is time that is already gone by, that is over. We have three different tenses: simple past tense, past continuous tense, past participle tense. Likewise, for future, we have simple future tense, future continuous tense, and future participle tense. Now, do you have to remember all this? Absolutely no. A big no. You don't have to remember any of the stuff that I'm telling you right now. You don't have to remember any of the theory that I'm going to teach right now, because this theory should only act as background fodder. They are not supposed to be used in active daily life English speaking. Of course, they'll be used, but they'll not be used directly. They will come in handy in an indirect way because your subconscious mind will be contributing to your speaking great English. It is your subconscious information base that I'm trying to build. All this stuff is not to be remembered. Only develop that intuition to speak English. Understand this concept intuitively, not by memorizing this sickening theory. Okay, moving on. Plan of study. So what are we going to do? This is how we are going to approach the subject. First, we will take up simple present tense and present continuous tense. We'll talk about, there are three parts, three categories into which present tense can be divided. Simple present, present continuous, and present participle. So we'll not be doing present participle initially. We will just be doing simple present tense and present continuous tense. Second, we will study simple past tense and past continuous tense. Take note that we are not doing past participle along with these two. Although past tense can be classified into simple past, past continuous, and past participle, we are not doing past participle. We'll just be doing simple past and past continuous initially. Third, we will understand simple future tense and future continuous tense. Again, we'll not be doing future participle right away. After we complete simple present tense and present continuous tense and simple past tense and past continuous tense and simple future tense and future continuous tense, we will take up what? Present perfect tense. Then we will talk about present perfect tense. That is present participle. You can also call it participle if you want. Fourth, we will take up present perfect tense. Please appreciate that the nomenclature that I am using could be wrong if you compare that nomenclature with the nomenclature used in the conventional grammar books. It is not my intention to give you the correct nomenclature. It is my job to build your intuition, your intuitive sense for essential English grammar. That's what I'm trying to do. Do not worry about the nomenclature I'm using. I could be using the incorrect nomenclature, doesn't matter. So fourth, we will take up present perfect tense, then we'll take up the past perfect tense, and then we'll understand the future perfect tense. Right? Moving on now. Present tense. We're talking about present tense. First, we are talking about present tense. How can present tense be defined? Not that we need to define it, but still, we are following a proper design. So let's move on. Let's see what present tense is. The present tense describes actions that are happening now or habitual actions. We may also use them to describe scheduled future events. Now, this is something many books will not tell you, but essential English grammar will tell you. The present tense, by virtue of being the present tense, certainly describes the actions that are happening in the present moment, that is now. Please pay attention. Please be focused. Please concentrate. I request each one of you not to lose focus because we are discussing some very important facets of speech. So the present tense, by nature, by the very dint of being, the present time, talks about what is happening in the present moment, what is happening now. That is understandable. But present tense can also be used to describe habitual actions. Just a while back, I said, Amrit reads books. Now, Amrit reads books is not indicating that Amrit is reading a book at the present moment. It just means what? It means Amrit is in the habit of reading books. And that's why, because he's in the habit of reading books, we say Amrit reads books. And when we say Amrit is reading books, even that is present tense. And sometimes we say, we use present tense to describe scheduled future events. When I say The session starts at 7:30 p.m. today. I'm not saying the session is going to start at 7:30 p.m. today. I'm not using the future tense. I'm just saying the session starts at 7:30 p.m. today. Although I'm using present tense, it is telling you about a scheduled future event. Do not be under the impression that present tense can only convey the present moment. It can tell you about the present moment and the habitual actions and also the scheduled future events. Do not get into the rut of grammar and begin to believe that present tense is only about the present. No way. Develop a gut for tenses. Moving ahead. Simple present tense. Now here I'll illustrate what I said. Habitual actions, general truths, and scheduled future events. This is what we represent with simple present tense. Example, she reads a book every night. Habit. Now, she reads a book every night does not mean I'm necessarily talking in the night and saying, hey, look, it is the present moment and she's reading the book. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying she reads a book every night, which means she is in the habit of reading a book every night. We are talking about habit, and that is why we are using simple present tense. She reads a book every night. The earth revolves around the sun. This is the general truth. And you can also think of it as the earth's habit of revolving around the sun. Right? Here, even in the present moment, the earth is revolving around the sun. So no matter how you see it, you can see it as an action that is happening in the present. You can see it as a habitual action, or you can see it as some general truth. No matter what you think of it, it is simple present tense. The earth revolves around the sun. Then we say the train leaves at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Scheduled future event. I'm talking about the future, yet I'm using the simple present tense because it is permissible to use simple present tense for a scheduled future event. Moving on. Present continuous. Actions happening right now or in the near future. What is happening right now or what is going to happen in the near future. I say something like, they are playing in the park. This action is current. This action is happening. Right? The Indian football team is playing against the football team of Saudi Arabia. This is happening. So they are playing in the park is happening right now. That is why we are saying they are playing in the park. Right? I am meeting her at 3 p.m. Now this is near future. I say I'm meeting Vamsi at 6 o'clock in the evening today. We have plans of discussing things over coffee. Right? So I'm not meeting Vamsi right now. I'm not in a state of meeting Vamsi or talking to him right now. I'll be meeting Vamsi at 6 o'clock. And maybe I'm making the statement at 2 p.m. So although I'm going to meet him at a later time in the future, I'm still using present continuous. So do not be bogged down by theory. Present continuous is not always about the present moment. It can also mean schedule, the things that are going to happen in the future. So present tense, please understand, is not only about the present. It can talk about habitual things. Simple present, you can take a look at simple present tense again. We can talk about a habit or a general truth, which is again, general truth is again like a habit. Or we can talk about a scheduled future event. All these are conveyed by using simple present tense. The session starts at 7:30. Never forget that. That's telling you about the future, but we are using the simple present tense. And likewise, continuous is the action that is happening right now or the action that will happen a little later. That's what you can convey with present continuous. Do you need to remember these rules? Well, no way. The sooner you forget them, the better for you. Please forget what I'm teaching you right now. Just develop that gut. What I'm telling you should form that background information. Background information is all you need to speak English, right? All this stuff shouldn't be there in your active part of the mind. In the surface of your mind, you should only have the knowledge of working English. Working English will improve if all these stuffs that I'm teaching you right now act as solid background tools. That is what they're supposed to do for you. Moving on, past tense. The past tense describes actions that have already happened. So, how do we use the simple past tense? Actions completed in the past. Example, he visited Paris last summer. He visited Paris last summer means that action is over. He was in Paris last summer. He's no longer in Paris. So that's why we say he visited Paris last summer. She cooked dinner yesterday. She cooked dinner yesterday. That means she is not cooking. Just 1 second. She is not in the act of cooking dinner right now. I'm not talking about her being a cook in the habitual sense. I'm not saying she cooks dinner. If I'd said she cooks dinner, that would be simple present tense because I would be talking about a habit. Or she's cooking dinner at 6 p.m. Talking about a near future event, it could be considered as simple present. You could also consider that as simple present. Doesn't matter which category you drop that sentence into. What is important for you to understand is we are talking about the past actions. That's it. Simple past tense. She cooked dinner yesterday. Moving on. Past continuous tense. Ongoing actions in the past. What was happening in a running process in the past. Like they were watching a movie when I called. When I called, they were in the act of watching a movie. That's why we say they were watching a movie when I called. It's continuous. What is continuous? The action was continuous when I tried to get in touch with them. So that continuous action is being focused over. We are trying to say that the action that we are talking about, the main action, was happening when? At the time that I'm referring to with my sentence. I was studying all night. So the process of studying was happening all through the night. It was continuous. The act of study was continuous. We are done with this. Moving ahead. Future tense. The future tense describes actions that will happen later. And simple future tense can be used for making predictions, promises, scheduled future events, and willingness. Just for your background information. Even if you forget them, even if your subconscious doesn't keep track of them, still you will be speaking great English. This is just information. You can even consider all this as fluff, I tell you. If you understand them, well, but understand them to develop that English speaking instinct. The spoken English faculties should get strengthened with all this information. This information is not meant to make you a theoretician. It's not intended to make you memorize grammar rules. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. She will travel to Japan next year. We are talking about a possible future event, a prediction. Prediction. What you call bhavishyavani in Sanskrit. She will travel to Japan next year. It's a prediction. We don't know whether that will happen, but we are saying that she probably will be going to Japan next year. That is why it's a simple future tense. I will call you tomorrow. It's a promise. I will call you tomorrow. You don't have to remember it this way. From the very sentence, read the sentence and you will know whether I'm talking about the present or the past or the future. So I will call you tomorrow means that I'm talking about a possible event that can happen tomorrow. That's why I say I will call you tomorrow. The concert will start at 7 p.m. scheduled event when I'm talking about something that is going to happen in the future. Instead of saying that the session starts at 7:30 p.m., I can also say the session will start at 7:30 p.m. If I do that, then I'll be using simple future tense. But who cares? Who cares what kind of tense I'm using? All that matters is what I'm saying. All that matters is whether I have been able to convey the meaning to you. That's what matters. All this is background information, subconscious information. Okay. I will help you with your homework. This is showing willingness. Now, come on, do not memorize future tense as predictions, promises, scheduled future events, and willingness. No. You are not going to learn English that way. In fact, you'll mess up your English if you learn it that way. So I've just given you some examples. She will travel to Japan next year. I will call you tomorrow. The concert will start at 7 p.m. I will help you with your homework. Just by reading the sentences or just by listening to the sentences, you can make out that we are talking about the future, right? Now, future continuous tense is ongoing actions in the future. At 5 p.m. tomorrow, they will be having dinner. I'm talking about what's going to happen in the future. And I'm talking about an action which will be current, which will be happening. So I'm saying, when I say having dinner, I mean they'll be in the act of having dinner. They'll be in the act of eating. So at 5 p.m. tomorrow, they will be having dinner. Likewise, this time next week, we will be exploring the mountains. We are talking about what we'll be in the act of doing at the same time. Now, do not memorize anything. Let's have a quick recap of the sentences that we have read thus far. Just see. He visited going behind. Okay. Now let's start. She reads a book every night. The earth revolves around the sun. The train leaves at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Forget about all the rules that I've spoken. Just the tenor of the sentence. The structure of the sentence will tell you that we are talking about something that has to deal with the present moment. Not necessarily the present moment, something that is being spoken in relation to the present moment. So she reads a book every night. The earth revolves around the sun. The train leaves at 9 a.m. tomorrow. All these are simple present tenses because they are talking of things that are in relation to the present. They are playing in the park. I'm meeting her at 3 p.m. Even if you forget the rules, you can make out that we are talking about certain things that are going to happen and that are of relevance to the present moment as well. Past tense, he visited Paris last summer. She cooked dinner yesterday. They were watching a movie when I called. I was studying all night. Just by reading the sentences or listening to the sentences, you can make out that I'm talking about past events. No rules are required to be memorized. Now, she will travel to Japan next year. I will call you tomorrow. The concert will start at 7 p.m. I will help you with your homework. At 5 p.m. tomorrow, they will be having dinner. This time next week, we will be exploring the mountains. All these sentences, just by their very tenor, by their very mood, by their very nature, by their very structure, by their very expression, are talking about the future. It's very easy to make out. You don't need to remember any rules to understand whether we are talking about the simple or the past or the future. Now we are coming to the slightly more difficult part. It's not a difficult part really. It's also very simple. Now, please focus on the paragraph that is there before I explain the use. Can I request Manisha to read out this first part from although your intuition up to the present, the first paragraph. Manisha, kindly read out the first paragraph for us.
Although your intuition will tell you better how perfect tenses are used, we will try to simplify things for your understanding. The present perfect tense describes actions that happened at an unspecified time before the present.
Okay, Manisha, what is your understanding of present perfect tense? By reading this, what do you make of present perfect tense? Well, let's answer this question together. I guess, Manisha, and let me know that if you agree with me. The first thing is, there is no rule that can tell you exactly when do we need to use the perfect tenses? When do we need to use the present perfect tense? When do we need to use the past perfect tense? And when do we need to use the future perfect tense? There is no rule that can tell you that under such and such circumstances, when it rains, when the water falls at an angle of 45 degree, and when your body temperature reaches 98.6 degree, and when you are sitting on a sofa with a cushion placed at an angle of 70 degrees, that is the time when you have to use perfect tenses. We don't have any such rules, right? The simple rule is there is no rule, and your intuition will take charge. Your intuition will take charge. Your intuition will tell you when to use the perfect tense. And regardless of whether you use perfect tense or not, your sentence can still be correct. Sometimes when you use perfect tenses, when you don't need to use perfect tenses, still the sentence is correct. Sometimes when you don't use perfect tenses, when you should be using the perfect tenses, still the sentence will be correct, because your intention is to convey the meaning. So do not worry too much about whether you are using the perfect tenses correctly. Now, the present perfect tense describes actions that happened at an unspecified time before the present. Okay. Now, let me explain this part of the paragraph. This means that present perfect tense is not talking about the absolute present. We are not talking about habits. We are not talking about some general truth. We are not talking about some event that is going to happen in the future. We are talking about some past event. Some event that happened in the past. But that event, the one that happened in the past, has some relevance to the present time. Now, you might say that I said the same thing while explaining the other tenses. Well, I did. And that is how grammar is to be understood. Use your gut, right? Use your gut. So what are present perfect tenses? Present perfect tenses are events. When we talk about events that happened in the past and which have some connection with the present, which are of relevance to the present. So what are the uses? Manisha, do you agree with me? Manisha, do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the use? Actions that started in the past and continue into the present. Experiences and past actions with relevance to the present. Exactly what I said. The actions that you did in the past, or that you started in the past and that you are still doing right now, which have relevance to the present moment. Actions that might have completed in the past, or actions that you started in the past, but which have not been completed in the past, they are continuing to the present moment. And no matter what kind of action you are talking about, it was started in the past, that has relevance to the present moment. The action might have been completed in the past, the action might still be continuing. For both actions, for both kind of actions, you can use present perfect tense. Is there a set out rule, some rule that has been engraved on the rocks, that has been imprinted on the annals of history, that's for such and such things the present perfect tense will be required to be used? No, absolutely not. Use your gut. Use your English speaking faculties. The more you practice, the more you learn. Again, all this is for your backdrop information. Now, she has visited Paris several times. We are talking about experience. She has visited Paris several times means, even if we had said she visited Paris several times, it would not mean, it wouldn't be a wrong sentence. It would be a correct sentence. We would only be talking about the fact that she visited Paris several times in the past. Now, whether her visits to Paris are of relevance to the present moment or not will not be known if I say she visited Paris several times in the past, or we just say she visited Paris several times. But when I say she has visited Paris several times, it would mean that yes, she has gone to Paris several times in the past, and what her visits to Paris in the past have got some present significance, have got relevance to the present moment. Now, that does not mean that she has visited Paris several times would always mean that her visits have some significance with the present time. Now, these are the dichotomies that you have to understand in grammar. When I say she visited Paris several times, it does not mean that her visits to Paris do not have any relevance to the present moment. And when I say she has visited Paris several times, it will not always mean that all the visits that she made to Paris or the act of visiting Paris in the past has got relevance to the present. That is not how practical English works. Although for theory, she visited Paris several times would give us an indication, would give us a feeling that yes, she visited Paris in the past, and probably her visits to the Paris do not have any significance for the present. And when I say she has visited Paris several times, it would mean that yes, she has made several visits to Paris, and her visits to Paris have got some relevance to the present moment. Then, I have finished my homework. Past actions with relevance to the present. Well, I have finished my homework. It will mean that yes, the homework was important and I finished it in the past. And because it has got relevance to the present, because probably if I had not finished the homework, somebody would have asked me, the teacher could have asked me, have you done your homework? And I would have had to cut a sorry figure if I hadn't done the homework earlier. So I have finished my homework would be past action with relevance to the present, and that would make it present perfect tense. But that does not mean that is how the sentence will have to be necessarily interpreted at all times. I'm telling you repeatedly, rules are rules, but rules are not going to teach you the language because rules are often violated. You can say, I have finished my homework even without meaning that the homework that you did in the past is of some relevance to the present. But for the sake of theory, we say that, okay? But yes, when you keep speaking, you will get the hang of things. Now, also note that when she has been used, she is a singular. With singular, we have used has. I is the first person. With first person such as I and we always use have. We use have with plurals or the first person, I and we. And has is used with singular third person, right? Let me put it in a simpler way. He, she will always be followed by has if you're using the present perfect tense. I and we will always be followed by have if you are using the present perfect tense. They will always be followed by have if you are using the present perfect tense. No need to get confused, my dear. There could be certain aspects that are not clear, that will not become clear to you. They have not become clear to anyone. They are not even clear to me because they are not supposed to be clear. They are rules. They don't have any absolute ground. They are subjective rules. They are not mathematics. They are not mathematics. Neither you nor your teacher understands as to what is the exact meaning of the rules. And even the native English speakers, even the experts of grammar will not be able to tell you what are the absolute meanings, what are the exact meanings of all this stuff. Because there cannot be any exact meaning. You just develop your intuitive sense to speak English. That's all you need to do. Moving on, past perfect tense. The past perfect tense describes actions that happened prior to another action in the past. Probably this will have a more objective kind of information. Past perfect tense. When we talk about two actions that happened in the past, please understand. Suppose you have performed or anybody has performed two actions in the past. Say action A and action B. Say Manisha did two actions. Manisha did two works in the past. She did work A and she did work B. When we talk about the first action in particular of Manisha, which is action A, then we use the past perfect tense. Confused? Even I'm confused. Let's read what's there, okay? The past perfect tense describes actions that happened prior to another action in the past. And what is the use? To show which action happened first in the past. So when I arrived, they had already eaten. So past action before another past action. Two actions happened earlier. Some people ate, that happened in the past. I arrived, that also happened in the past. So their eating and my arrival both happened in the past. But since the act of eating got completed before the act of arrival, I use the past perfect tense here and I say, when I arrived, they had already eaten. By the time Manisha finished her sketch of the mountains, she had already composed her poem. So the act of writing the poem happened first, got finished first. So that is action A. And her sketching a mountain happens to be the second action that was completed in the past. So when we are giving precedence, we are giving importance to the first action, then we use past perfect tense. So when I arrived, they had already eaten. Eating and arrival both happened in the past. So since we are giving precedence to, we are giving importance to the act of eating here, we say when I arrived, they had already eaten. Now these rules are to be dumped into a garbage bin and thrown away into the lap of infinity. Forget all this rubbish. Only begin to speak. That will teach you. Why am I giving you all this information? Well, with the hope that some of this will act as background information. Let's get this clear. All of it will not get ingrained in your subconscious mind. A part of it may get ingrained. A part of it may help you speak better English. So it is just that possibility that a part of it may help you speak better English. It is for that possibility that I'm telling you these rules. That's it. Do I know these rules? No. I just speak. I just speak. When I teach these rules, I just read from the slides and explain my bit. Do I know these rules by heart? By no means. I don't. And I'll never learn them. I've read them at least 1,000 times, but I'll never learn them. Even if they come and say, hey, learn us, learn us, learn us, learn us, learn us, we'll be sitting inside your head. I'll say, thank you. You don't need to sit inside my head. Just get lost. Get lost. I don't need you all to speak in English. You do the same. Okay. So future perfect tense. The future perfect tense describes actions that will be completed before a specific point in the future. So we are talking about two aspects in future perfect tense. We are talking about an action that will happen in the future. We are also talking about some point of time in future. And when we are trying to suggest that the action that we are talking about will be completed before the point of time in future that we are talking about, we use future perfect tense. Confused? Well, you are supposed to be. Don't worry. Do I understand what I just explained? No, I don't. Let's see. Let's take an example. But before that, let me use, what do you call it? Let me enjoy the son's privilege. I know if I say a teacher's privilege, Isha will be on my head. Isha, please read this
Yes,
first
sir.
paragraph. Make an appearance and read the first. See, look at this. Son's privilege, right? Not a teacher's privilege, a son's privilege. Okay.
Yes,
Go on.
sir. Son's privilege.
All right. So, read this. Read the first part.
The future perfect tense describes action that will be completed before a specific point in the future.
So, quite understandably, we are talking about a future point of time and we are talking about an action. All we are trying to convey with the help of future perfect tense is that the action that we are going to talk about, the action that we are talking about has been completed before the specific point of time that we have mentioned in our sentence. Let's take an example. To express the completion of an action before a future event. For example, by next year, I will have finished my degree, which means next year is a future point of time. And what is the action? The action is the finishing of the degree. So when I say by next year, I will have finished my degree, I mean that before the specific point of time in future, which happens to be next year, I will have completed my action. And what will be the action? Finishing the degree. will have, shall have are typical expressions that we use in future present tense. Isha, am I making sense or am I speaking Greek?
No, sir, it has sense.
Okay, great, great, great. All right. Read this for me, Isha.
Excellent. Keep revising this lesson. Probably this lesson is the most important lesson of the essential English grammar. Get going, folks.
Thank you, Isha. Indeed, this sounded complicated and it probably is the most complicated lesson because it has got all kinds of things happening in a circuitry. Could be the most confusing. Do I know what I taught you? No, I don't know what I taught you. Howsoever paradoxical that sounds. Do I know what I taught you? I don't know what I taught you. I just taught you, that's it. Whatever came to my mind, I just blabbered, right? I still remember blabbering is one of the words that Vamsi had given her. So I just blabbered what came to my mind. I just saw those slides and blabbered out my stuff. Right. And is all that blabbering the exact meaning of what was written on the slides? No. What I said was not the exact meaning of what I blabbered was not the exact meaning of what was there on the slides. In fact, what was there on the slides was not the exactness of the concept that they were supposed to depict. And the concept in turn is also not the exact essence of whatever essence it had to convey. It's all subjective, my dear. When I say Smita is an intelligent girl, I'm not talking in terms of mathematics. I'm talking in terms of subjectivity. So all these subjective issues should not confuse you. Now, be on the camera, except for Seema, the rest of you be on the camera, please. Be on the camera, Lekha, Sneha. Lekha, yes. Lekha, okay, Sneha, good. Lekha, be on the camera, please. Lekha. All right, no problem. Lekha might be busy. Okay. So, those of you who are visible right now, please raise your hands if you understood only 50% of what I explained. You don't have to understand 100% of it. If you think you understood just about 50% of what I explained, raise your hands like this. Okay. Okay. Sanjay, not even 50%. Sanjay, not
Sir,
even
below
50%.
below 50%.
Below 50%. Oh my goodness. At least, anyway, I'm thankful about your truthfulness. Shivam, I've seen your real hand. I've also seen your virtual hand. Thank you. Okay. All right. No problem. Why below 50%, Sanjay? Sit with me for a one-to-one next week, right? I need to talk to you about certain things. I want a one-to-one with you. All right, Sanjay, is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, Isha, you have raised your hand. You want to say something? Oh, this is a hand for suggesting that you understood.
Searching where is a raise hand option, as Seema said. I am virtual option.
No, but I wanted you to raise the real hand. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Some interesting chat is happening. Okay. Seema is saying yes, sir. All right. Good. Good, 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 good. All right. Now the time has come for spontaneous speeches. I urge you all to stay till we finish. It is 9:15. We hope to finish by 10. Do not leave us before the spontaneous speeches get over. Right? Do not leave us before the spontaneous speeches get over. Make it a point that you attend the spontaneous speeches. All right. Now today, who is going to do the spontaneous speech? The first one, it's going to be Sneha. Sneha, be ready. I'm giving you the topic. Sneha, say hello to me.
Hello, sir.
Right. I'm giving you a spiritual topic, just the way I gave interesting topics to the speakers yesterday. I'm giving you an interesting topic as well. And since you're a devotee of Krishna, I'm sure you'll be able to do a good job with this topic. The topic does not relate to Krishna directly, but it's an interesting topic nevertheless. The topic is inner beauty, inner beauty, inner beauty. Start.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sneha, and today's my spontaneous speech topic is inner beauty. It's a topic like we can explain as much as we all want. And inner beauty, I can say all the people in the earth have their beauty, uh, inner beauties. Like nobody is perfect and have different kind of variety of skills in they have. So first, like in our class, sir always praise us and give a huge compliments. So the inner beauty of sir is think looking the only positive sides of or we looking all the positive sides for the person they see. So this is the inner beauty of sir. I can say that he always think or always find the things which are good in any manner. If I can say in that way, if he saw the beggar or in a person who is drunk very, and at that time I am 100% sure he said he can be say like the real prospect of that person, he might be have some trouble, and no, he is like he is doing like this, he have some issues in their life maybe. So the inner beauty of in I can assume in sir is like finding positiveness uh, to the every person, each and every person. In my way, I can also say I am very emotional kind of girl. So whenever I saw the things like people are not good in condition in a good condition, I feel the condition of that person. If they are very happy, I feel very happy to the person. If the person is very sad, I'm at that time I feel the pain of that person. They are they they feel. So I can say it's my inner beauties to feel the pain of the person, feel the happiness of the other person. This is my inner beauty, I can say, if I'm not wrong. So as uh, uh, inner beauty, nothing is striking me. Inner beauty, and in our group, all the beautiful person I saw every day, I see every day. And I saw the good thing in Lekha also, in Nitesh, in my Kotri group. They always praise person, they always guiding things to the other person. And one thing I say, Lekha is not good in cooking. So I somehow I teach her one day aloo paratha, and you can do like this way. So the simplicity of Lekha, doing speaking bluntly everything she like or she didn't like. So I like the personality of this kind of Lekha, and I can say this thing, the inner beauty of Lekha. Like she is open to everyone. She is as she in front of the camera, out of the camera. She is in here. She's out. She is not here. She will be the same Lekha as always. So I like this thing about Lekha, and I can say it's her inner beauty. And in Manisha also, I feel very positive when I saw Manisha and the speech she delivered. I really hope someday I can give also this kind of confidence when I'm speaking my speech. And the we can speak, but the thing is that we don't have the knowledge to speak about the topic. So I'm learning these things, how to deliver the things like a proper man, like a good manner. So I'm learning the things to all. So the inner beauty of Manisha, I can say, the confidence of speaking, and the calmness of her face. She always do the big things, and her face looking very calm and quiet, and very gently she spoke. So I like the inner beauty of Manisha like this. And I also can say that about Nitesh. Nitesh is very genuine kind of boy, and the inner beauty of Nitesh is also, I can say that he is very good student, I can say, and a good reader. I assume many things he know about the things which I don't know the A of that topic, and he know about this. So I like talking to Nitesh, and I'm learning many things when we are talking in our coterie group. And I don't know the other person in this coterie group, or in this group personally, because we can't talk to everyone. Like I don't have get the opportunity to talk with Isha and Arun and Pallavi. So, and but I'm assuming that all are very good listeners. Like I listen many spontaneous speeches. Shivam, Shivam also, and he is a very good speaker, I can say, and the little intelligent things he deliver in his uh, uh, speech. So I can say that the honesty is the inner beauty of Shivam. And also, I like Pallavi. She is very simple and very decent girl. And I can see the inner beauty of simpleness in Pallavi.
Neha, that should do. Your time is over. And a great speech. Wow. Very spontaneous, very intelligently done. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Okay, so you have spoken and you didn't run out of ideas because you spoke about things that you know. Know your classmates well, and you chose to speak about their uh, quotas of inner beauty, which is very well thought out, very well done. And you said such nice things about others. You could have spoken a little about your inner beauty as well because you're a great girl, right? So you should ask us about you. So wonderful speech done. All right, moving on now. Vamsi, for the first time, pull up your socks.
So,
Yes.
so please read comments that all the participants have
Certainly,
written
certainly.
for
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
And
Thank
so
you for
sorry for
coming.
interruption, sir. So sorry.
Not at all, not at all, not at all. Okay. All right. So the praise is coming for Sneha, and they must. Sneha made such a beautiful speech. Sanjay says, wonderful performance, Sneha. Well done. Claps, claps and claps for you. Well done. Seema says, great speech with wonderful examples, dear Sneha. Lots of thumbs up and claps and 2 hearts for you. Lot of love and admiration from Seema, from Seema for Sneha. Arun says, fantastic speech delivered by you. Lots of claps, right? And a beautiful smiley too. Okay, the smiley has come from Sneha. Okay, fine. All right. Sorry. The smiley is, every message has a smiley that has been given by Sneha. Okay. Then Shivam says, what a performance. Absolutely beautiful. 2 beautiful smileys thereafter. Then Shivam goes on to say, you delivered the difficult topic easily. And then there are 3 balls of fire rushing at you to salute you. It was a pleasure listening to you, right? He's spot on. Pallavi says, excellent speech, dear Sneha. 2 beautiful smileys, then 1 this. Lots of claps for you. You spoke really well about the inner beauty of all the participants. I know that you have so much inner beauty in yourself. 4 beautiful smileys for you. Indeed, Pallavi, I completely agree with you. Shivam says, I can understand Bengali. Oh, you can? Oh, good, good, good. Sometimes I think the conversations, although I try to be as professional as possible, but sometimes my mom comes over and says a word or two. Okay, so if you understand what she says, and then you must be erupting into peals of laughter. I'm sure. You know, she says some wonderful, very cute things. All right. With most beautiful heart and spiritual insight, you have Sneha. That's why this is Isha saying, with the most beautiful heart and the spirituality inside you, uh, Sneha, that's why you have delivered such a stunning performance. It's always a pleasure to listen to you. 3 beautiful hearts and lots of claps and thumbs up. So Isha has sent you a lot of love and appreciation, Sneha. Nitesh says, Sneha, you spoke like a pro. Through your speech, you drew everybody's attention by talking about their inner beauty. It's a great art of keeping the audience engaged in your speech. You did a very commendable job. Keep it up. Then there are 2 this and lots of claps and a beautiful smiley. Well, Nitesh is always correct, so no need to say that I agree with him. Of course, I agree with him. And Sneha, you deserve every bit of this. You absolutely deserve it. Vamsi says, wonderful speech, Sneha. Your ability to articulate your thoughts with a lot of confidence is truly amazing. And the 3 characteristic exclamations of Vamsi. Vamsi is spot on, without a doubt. Sneha says, thank you, everyone. Love to read your appreciation messages. Today you made my day. And then there's a beautiful smiley. Manisha says, Sneha, it was wonderful. A beautiful smiley followed by claps. You are always full of confidence, energy, and content for sure. And lovely smiley thereafter. You are beautiful inside out. Honestly, then there's a lovely heart. You said such good words about your participants. This shows your inner beauty as you are open to see goodness in everyone. Kudos to you, Sneha, for this wonderful performance. And this directorial mark followed by claps. Completely agree with your thoughts on Lekha, Nitesh, Pallavi, and others about those you didn't get time to speak because of time constraints. And absolutely agree with Manisha on that. Okay, Vamsi, get ready. Say hello to me, Vamsi.
Hi, Biswajit. Hi.
Right. Vamsi, your topic for the day is, see, the pronunciation of diversity can be both diversity and diversity. These days, the word diversity, the pronunciation diversity is more common, so I'm using diversity, but you can use any pronunciation, it doesn't matter. You can pronounce it the way you like. The topic for you is, India is a true example of unity in diversity. India is a true example of unity in diversity. India is a true example of unity in diversity. Shoot.
Hello, everyone. The topic for today is India as unity in diversity is a topic for me today. As you all know, India is a country which believes in the diversity of various religions and various communities and various people across different states or the different regions of the country. And India is one of the countries wherein it promotes a lot of diversity, wherein people from different backgrounds and different communities have always come together and then participated in various occasions. Personally, I see in my community, there are a lot of people who come from different regions, people from the north, people from the south, and the best part is everyone celebrates various occasions together, whether it is a particular festival or a particular event across irrespective of the boundaries or irrespective of the respective communities or the backgrounds they come in. I think the best part of to celebrate the unity in diversity is, I think, even our movies also depicts the lot of diversity, and wherein people from different backgrounds or different, we always see nowadays that people from different regions, like people from the north are working in the movies and in southern movies, and the people within the southern region as well, like people from Tamil and people from Kerala and from Malayalam, or work in a particular industry of Telugu or industry of Hindi. So And one of the most important aspects, I think, keep on hearing about the diversity part is the religion, right? Wherein this is one of the most I think debatable topics which has been discussed now and then. Irrespective of the caste or the religion, in India is one of the countries wherein it promotes or it makes people come together on a single platform wherein they forget everything and then try to make sure that everyone is being ranked or kind of supported in irrespective of their backgrounds or the qualifications that come in. I think one of the one of the aspects of the unity and diversity has been seen during COVID times, wherein people, irrespective of their backgrounds, I think people have come forward to help each other on a platform wherein the true mark of that particular country has been seen, wherein every person was helping each other irrespective of their caste and religion. And we can see this particular unity and diversity coming in as a part of our sport, the biggest sport of the country, which is cricket, wherein you see people from different backgrounds coming in and then they play for the country and then make sure that they have that particular the pride of the nation carried on in every aspect of that particular sport. And even in a lot of organizations nowadays, I think the one of the most important aspects which is being dealt upon and which is being supported is the unity and diversity. Like in my organization wherein I work, the most important aspect which is also being spoken about is the inclusiveness and also the unity of that particular of the people of the organization, wherein people should not be left out in the organization. That's the most important aspect, wherein we see a lot of people, especially I'm based out of Hyderabad. I see a lot of people coming from northern background. And initially, I think a few years back, we have seen people speaking their local languages, native languages. And one of the most important aspect which has been called out or which has been emphasized upon in every organization is make sure that you have that inclusive nature wherein you bring the people in one platform and then they should not feel left out. I think this is one of the biggest advantages of this particular country, wherein everyone understands what exactly is a unity and what exactly is a culture which we have to develop as a nation, as the citizens of this particular country. And for me also personally, I teach my son wherein like initially there was a thought process that a particular when he was studying in his nursery or first or second grade, he was like his particular section had a lot of boys and rather than girls, and then he was always getting close or getting kind of the interaction was more with the people with whom he was comfortable, wherein the kids were talking in local languages. But nowadays, I think the lot of discussions happen in my home also. I think it is very important for all of us to make sure that the kids are made sure that they have been taught that the diversity is being supported across from the age where they are growing up, to make sure that they understand the importance of having that unity and diversity. They learn to make sure that they respect each and every person and bring that inclusiveness in each and every aspect of their particular growth. One of the most important aspects, again, when I see unity and diversity is I think the politics. I would say this is one of the areas wherein I would say it is very gray at this point of time, wherein a lot of local flavor is being supported at this point of time. I see a lot of news coming across in different platforms. But I think the most important aspect is India is a democratic country wherein it supports the
Vamsi, that should do. Wow. Can't believe this is your first performance. You're speaking as though you're doing it for the 100th time. Wow, wonderful. Great. Really kudos to you. What a performance. What a performance. Well, really impressed. I heard your earlier speeches that you had sent to me, but certainly you have improved, right? This, by no stretch of imagination, was an easy topic. Although this probably is a common topic, but this is not an easy topic. Because it is an oft-given topic, it also is very difficult. It is not easy to be speaking on cliche topics because you cannot be saying the cliche things for the cliche topic. It sounds very boring. Vamsi made sure that he adds new and newer and newest dimensions to this topic. What a performance. What a stunner this was. Absolutely loved what you said. And Vamsi, I see a pro speaker in you already. It is only a question of time before I see you on larger platforms addressing maybe hundreds or thousands of people together. You are so full of promise. And I tell you, what you did today is indescribably brilliant. So well done. And as I say, and Manisha also often says these days, the best things should be left unsaid. I'm leaving the rest of what I'm feeling about your speech unsaid. Let me read your friends' comments, and these comments will also say a lot about you and your performance. All right. So, okay. All right. So Arun claps for Vamsi. Seema says, excellent performance, Vamsi. You are already a pro speaker. Wonderful job you did. Lots of claps for you. Lots of thumbs up. Well done. Isha says, wonderful performance. You speak like a pro speaker. Isha is spot on. Lots of claps and thumbs up for you. All right. Pallavi says, well done, Vamsi. Claps and this for you. And then Pallavi says, your speech was wonderful. Even though it was your first speech, you are already sounding like a pro speaker. Lots of claps for you again. Lots of beautiful smileys. And then Pallavi also says, commendable performance, and sends you thumbs up and claps again. Shivam says, absolutely wow. 3 fireballs shot at you, not to hurt you, but to salute you for your great performance. It didn't sound like the first time. You are already a pro speaker. The confidence you have is really amazing. And lots of claps for you. Sanjay says, superb performance, Vamsi. Great. Well done. Agree with Sanjay. And lot claps from Sanjay's side also. Manisha says, Vamsi, I can't believe that was your first speech online. Claps for you. Your confidence and content of the speech both were amazing. I'm short of words to describe how good your speech was. That directorial sign followed by claps. It was inspiring. Yes, indeed, this is something that I hadn't said earlier. It's good that Manisha has pointed it out. Your speech was not just good, it was content rich as well. It is not easy to be making spontaneous speeches that are not just spontaneously or smoothly done, but which are also rich in content. Yours was both in terms of spontaneity, it was very good. And in terms of content, it was very rich. Well done. All right. Nitesh. Nitesh says, Vamsi, what an unbelievable performance. You spoke non-stop for 6 minutes with so much confidence. You are already a pro. Claps and thumbs up for you. And then Vamsi says, thank you for all the wonderful wishes. Sneha says, very true. As Sir said, it is not easy. It is not an easy topic. You did fantastic job, Vamsi. I knew before you started the speech that you can do this. Congratulations. And that inverted cap, birthday cap from where there's a splutter of colors coming out, for your first spontaneous speech. And she's right. She has also sent you many claps. And Vamsi also thanks Sneha. So what a brilliant performance by Sneha. What a brilliant performance by Vamsi. As we progress, I see that you people have done remarkably well. Vamsi joined us around the 30th class. And the fact that he has picked up so well and he's doing spontaneous speech with so much of confidence and command is a testimony to his abilities. I'm so pleased that he has been able to pull off this spontaneous speech with flying colors. I'm very happy with the way Sneha did her spontaneous speech. It is only a question of time before each one of you becomes a pro. Well done, all of you. Look forward to all of you excelling. Look forward to all of you becoming great speakers, and look forward to all the successes that are going to come your way. I'm so thankful to all of you for waiting, for allowing me to take a lengthy session. So do watch this watch the recording of this session when it is uploaded. Thank you very much, all of you. Take good care of yourselves. I'll see each one of you on Monday. Make it a point to attend the classes. Don't miss the classes, right? Thank you. Take care. Good night.